we looked at this amazing rule, y equals mx plus c. I don't know what that is. Why is that hanging out on my messenger? You want to say hi to Jack? Jack, and who else do we say hi to? Hi. And who else should we do? Who else is away? Xavier. Hi, Xavier. What about Camilla? You had one job. Camilla. All right. At A equals mx plus c. M. You're amazing. Good. Still amazing. You just had that. Good. Gradient of a tangent, but not, we're just doing kind of it. Very, very related. C. Y-intercept is a y-intercept. Where does it? Show me your y-axis with your arms, please. Y-axis. Good. Should be a vertical line, straight vertical line. Okay, good. So we looked at a few things. We looked at the fact that your gradient could also be y2 minus y1 over x2 minus x1. We looked at the y-intercept can be found when x equals 0. We looked at some special rules. So if it is a horizontal line, is it a y equals line or an x equals line? Y equals. Okay, remember it's parallel to the x-axis, so you need to think of, if it's parallel to the y-axis, then it's an x equals line, and if it's parallel to the x-axis. Does anyone have a better way of remembering that? Yep. The line is on the y-axis? Good, as in it goes through the y-axis. So it's an x equals line. Good, does anyone remember? But I might give you a graph and you have to find the rule, so that doesn't really help us. Like do you know? You have to be able to say y equals negative 3. Y equals negative 3 is of that line. Well done, 0. Horizontal line, anything, but then we run this over numbers, so it's just 0. This one, x equals 4, what's the gradient of that one? So what happens with this one, here we go, so I go up, let's say I've rose from the axis up to here, how much have I risen? 2, and how much do I run? How much do I move side to side? 0, so I've got 2 over 0, that. No. I'm not allowed, put that in your calculator right now. 2 divided by 0. Error. Yeah. You are not allowed 0. Error. So if it's high, the gradient is 0. Say that the gradient is undefined. So it sounds like you guys might need to write that one down. We obviously didn't know that one. Yes, because you're not allowed to divide by 0. Go to. All right, so x equals constant. Let's just write under that one. So somewhere draw a vertical line. Remind yourself that it's an x equals constant line. And we say that the gradient equals undefined. And I can pretty much guarantee you will have a straight line on your exam, like a or a horizontal straight line, and you will need to say what's the gradient. So you need to know flat, the gradient is undefined. Do we need the gradient of 0 for this one? I'll just write it here. Gradient equals 0. That's our special rule. Because what's happening is we rise, well, we don't rise by anything, so it's m equals 0 over, and we run 0 over 4 maybe? Which so, great question. We just heard from Christian. You only have two options for the gradient. It's either 0 or it's undefined. That's it. It's options you're on. By doing rise over, or you could do y2 minus y1. Okay, so I would like to see how we go. Take the gradient into okay, let's have a look. Let's popcorn around the room. Emily, go. A, give me the gradient.
And the gradient equals -4.
Beautiful. Pick someone else. Do you, what? No, why is it over -1? M is just the number in front of the X. Go, Emily. Naomi, good. Let's go. C equals -1. Excellent. Next, choose someone else for B. Yep. Well done. That one is quite tricky because I saw a lot of zeros around the room. The coefficient, which is -1 here. Andrew. Okay, go, Jeff. Sorry, C equals 3. Well, before we get to the next one, let's have a look at what's happening. So visualize A. Can you show me, if the grid paper is in front of you, what does A look like? What does it look like? What does -4x minus 1 look like? Is it going to be this way? Is it going to be this way? Is it going to be really steep? Is it going to be almost flat? What's it going to be? Okay, it should look like, if I draw, I know, thanks, I'll think about it. Sorry, equals X. Okay, what looks like? Home. Okay, here is y equals X. Now, what is the y-intercept of that line? Y-intercept. So it's going through the origin. Now, the gray line is, which means for every time we go up 1, we go over 1, up 1, over 1, up 1, over 1. So that is kind of your baseline that we should know. Then we have y equals -4x minus. So what do we know? Where was that graph? Where was that graph? What point would I start that graph at? -1? That's not a point, but you're close. -1, 0. So you want me to start here? -1, 0? -1, -4? What do we know about that graph? What intercept do we know? That's at -1, but what does it intercept at -1? The y-axis. Show me again your y-axis. So y-axis, my vertical one, we're saying it's going to intersect that one at -1 point there. Well, 0, -1. Now, let's graph it. So we know that if we go up 4, up 1, 2, 3, do I then move left 1 or right 1? Because it's, so your rise is positive, then your run has negative. Then we rise positive, our run is negative. Or we could run positive to rise negative. So it's going to look like the gradient is 4, which is a pretty big number, and it's going to be negative, which means it starts in the top left and goes down to the bottom right. Can we have a look at the next one? Where should I start the next one? 3. Can we be more specific? Can I have a point? 0, 3. Good. So we go up. 1, 2, 3. 0, 3 is my starting point. Now, this one says that the gradient is -1. Can I explain what that actually means? As I go up 1, what happens? Left 1. Because it's negative still. So if I go up 1, I go left 1. Or if I go down 1, I go right 1. Okay, because positive gradient means you run up, right, right. So if I have a -1, it means down, right, or up, left, left. So this is a -1. So that means I go, from my starting point, I go down 1, left 1. Oops, sorry, down 1, right 1. Down 1, right 1. Down 1, right 1. And that. Okay. Jess, can you pick someone, please? Ruth. M equals. Super. Now, -5/2. What is that as like a decimal? Can I add that to a decimal? -2.5. Okay. So it's going to be like this. Start in the top left, finish in the bottom right. Which one? Or is it option 2? 2. Super confident, Jess, and I love it because you are correct. Guys, we more confident, Jess. Top left, move to the bottom right. It's negative. Okay, Haru, pick someone.
I think a boy.
Yes? Nikolai. Okay. C equals?
1.
When we look at this one, what is the value of C? What's my y-intercept?
For that one.
Yep. 17. Well done. So C equals 17. And then the hint that Aiden gave us for D was that we needed to rearrange. Side, we get 2x equals 1 plus y. Have I got y by itself yet?
No.
What do I need to do? -1. So I'm going to do 2x minus 1 equals y, which I'll just bring that to the other side. Y equals 2x minus 1. That's mx plus c now, isn't it? All right. Nikolai, pick someone. Gradient is 2. Thank you. Pick someone, Max. Oh. Aiden. -1. Awesome. Now this last one I didn't have on the board earlier. Well, how would we do that? Naomi.
So
Oh, you could see it. Good, go. Okay. Have I got y by itself yet? Okay, we need to do that first before we do gradients. Okay. Everybody try and rearrange that to make... You're almost there, Naomi. But I want you to rearrange the whole thing to get y by itself. Alright, so what we do first is we subtract from both sides and we get 2y equals... Start. We're almost there. What do we do, Josephine? Divide everything by 2. I like that you use that word everything. So if I do 2y divided by 2 equals negative 8 divided by 2 minus x divided by 2. So what is 2y divided by 2? Happy with that? What is negative 8 divided by 2? Negative 4. X on 2. How could I rewrite times? Good. Can we go fractions? 1/2. 1/2 x. So now, what's my gradient? Negative 1/2. And my y-intercept? Negative 4. So you cannot find m and c from the original. You have to rearrange it. You guys reckon you could do that now? Okay, well, I'll leave it for now. You're doing a really good job. There's a lot of different things that come together for straight line graphs. Okay, on to the next one. Determine the slope. What's the word slope mean? Oh, fire. She's like so cash. Gradient. Okay. Hit me with the... Come on. Alright, let's go. Determine the line that passes through those 2 points. Any hints? Drawing it? No, Vespa's way too much work. This is so easy. Why? What are we finding? What are we solving for? M or C? M. M equals 2 minus y1 over... Do we have a y2 and a y1 and an x2 and an x1? So smart, Amy. So smart. So m equals y2 minus y1 over x2 minus x1. Now, what are the things that we have to be careful with for this? What do we have to be careful with? Max? Don't get them muddled up. Okay, so what do we want to make 20? What? Y2? Is that a y coordinate? X1? Okay, so what does 8 become? Y1. You have to pair them up. What is 9? Well done. What's 16? Y2. So it becomes 16 minus 8 over 9 minus 20, which equals 8 over negative 11. All right, you do the next two. Whoop, whoop.